And many people might not have heard about the Australian Signals Directorate, but they certainly know some of us. The ASD is an organisation that's part of Australia's intelligence community, and their job is to monitor foreign signals intelligence, as well as cyber warfare and information security. The ASD cannot conduct mass surveillance of Australians, but it has been collecting intelligence on various people for over 20 years. Now the federal government wants to pass legislation that would allow the ASD to work with the federal police and share information. Robbo, should we feel uncomfortable about Aussies spying on Aussies?
Look, as long as it's done for the right reasons, and it's held up to a very high level of discourse, I think that's important. We live in dangerous times. There's no way to sugarcoat that, especially with the relationship between the US and China, where have got in the middle of that and will remain to be in that position.
But that's
this is where we've got to be.
They use for this. The director of this organisation said, "Not all Aussies are good Aussies." 100% right. But I always come back to, if you want to spy on Australians, get a warrant. Do it properly. These broad powers give them full access to everything we're doing, and we know our traces online are huge, but I have concerns about privacy.
Well, yeah, and of course, it's a very valid concern. I've shared the same concerns with both of you on this program, but there has to be a bit of give and take, especially with the way that the world is now and where it seems to be heading. This is just, if you want to live in a safe country, maybe this is a little bit of give that we've got to provide in order to be safe.
How much are you willing to give up, Robbo?
Everything except for my Pornhub search engine.
What about random checks in your house? We need to be safe. We can't see everything online. We just need to come into your house and check what you've got stored in the garage.
No, you've got to have some kind of reason to have that happen. So they're not going to randomly come around and knock on the door and say, "It's the AFP here. We just want to have a Bo Peep in your pantry." That's not going to happen.
Why not? Spy agencies don't just use the internet. They plant listening devices. They put video surveillance in. It's not just a matter of scouring online. They listen into you. That's what spies do.
Yeah, but they need a warrant for that.
Well, that's my point, that they want broader powers.
Good. Yeah. Give it to them. Great.
Yeah, come on. Benny loves this. No, he loves it. So because you don't mind it. You're very open about the fact that you just,
come into my house. Go through my things. Go through everything. I don't care. And Robbo, I don't know why you're so worried about your Pornhub. What people need to understand about porn is everyone's probably watching it, and there aren't anything too scary about it. You might think it's taboo, but it's really not. Go through my internet, come into my house. You'd be bored out of your mind about how normal I am and how much I don't have to hide. And I have to say that in my life, the people that I know that are the most scared about giving away their rights and giving away their information are all the people I know that are doing illegal things. They've got reason to be paranoid.
Whoa. I'm not doing illegal things, all right?
Well, I don't know.
I have a right to want privacy. I live in a free society.
Why?
I do not live in a dictatorship. I am allowed to have privacy. That does not mean I'm doing anything wrong. I actually don't have anything to hide. But I don't want them spying on me unless there is probable cause and they get the right warrants to do so.
Let me tell you this.
Outrageous.
If there are, I know, but look, let's just say that there is a dubious reason to be concerned about somebody's behaviour. It hasn't been fully qualified or justified, and giving away the rights to be able to tap in and see just really quickly if that person is doing something severely illegal or very corrupt, then that's a good start. And at the end of the day, please explain, apart from just the emotion, like just this weird emotion about it, but why are you so scared about just being able to give it to the authorities? Like, what do you think they're going to do?
I don't have faith in them. We've seen so much corruption through all levels of policing and government, and I'm not an anti-policer or anything like that. I stick up for the police on this show many, many times. But I do believe that if you want to spy on people, get a warrant, prove your concerns to a judge, an independent judge, and show us that there is probable cause. You look at what's happening. The head of the AFP has faced a sentence estimate inquiry about raids on the journalist's house, and he said the courts were wrong, that this was justifiable and that the AFP were entitled to search the journalist's house. You know why the AFP searched that house of Annika Smethurst? Because she wrote a story that the government of the day did not like. That's why they searched her house and went through everything, and basically her story was correct. So we are trying to kill the independence of the reporters. And so there's a thing, Ben. So a reporter writes something. The agency can now go and spy on them to find out who their sources are. Sources are an important thing for journalism. There are good reasons to have a free society that holds the government to account. And every time you take away those rights, we lose that right to hold our governments to account, which gives them more flexibility to do the wrong thing.
I get that, but like when we go through this woman's house and we find out that she's done nothing wrong and there's nothing incriminating there, and they walk away and they apologise, I still don't see that there's anything wrong with that.
They're not apologising. That woman has had to give up journalism because of the mental health strain it has taken on her. They went through every facet of her life, her panties for God's sake. And by the way, when they went through her phone, the head of the person in there went through the phone saying, yes, you can take that message, you can't take that one. So if she had conversations with politicians from the government, they were told to ignore those text messages and those messages. So, mate, this is political, and this is the slippery slope we go down when you say to give these outrageous powers away willy-nilly.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.